Ladies, gentlemen, and young ladies, the situation is serious for France. The situation is very, very serious. Yes, that's to say, France is in agony. France is in agony, and it's not me who is said. It's Prime Minister Francois Bayrou who makes this announcement, and he didn't do it in front of the media. It's before the French people in Parliament French. He made a statement which is a dramatic alert. It's scary. The French are trembling. But Emmanuel Macron is not aware of this situation. His prime minister chose to tell the raw truth, to behave wisely republic, even if he is going to leave his post of prime minister, but he would have told the truth. And you remember the other one who was there as first minister. Prime minister, I believe Elizabeth Bourne had left because such situations, because has no money, and Macron only does spend in a disorderly manner while wanting to position oneself as a war chief. But this statement that Francois Bayrou just did, I think will do it do. Emmanuel Macron will certainly blow it up within 24 hours follow because he was too direct, he was clear, but it's the truth he said. France is in agony. And what does he say? The vital prognosis of the France is engaged. It is a term that is borrowed from the world medical. When we say his prognosis vital, you have a patient who is at the hospital, we say his vital prognosis is engaged. That means we are fighting for its survival. That is to say that the person is between life and death. That's clear. When you are told at the hospital, you really mustn't. It's despair total. And it is these words which are placed in the French context. Ladies, gentlemen, and young ladies, as part of this video conference, it is, of course, this news that we're going to talk. But before continue, I humbly ask you to share this video conference to maximum. Put a lot of likes. And don't forget to leave your different opinions in the comments. For all those who are not yet subscribers, please click for you subscribe. That way you don't have to no longer miss our video conferences. So let's dive in. Always remember, take a look at the Play Store or Apple Store. Thank you for downloading the Moyen Express application. This is the platform of sovereignty digital from Africa that comes to us straight from Burkina Faso. Let's go in the depths. It is a medical metaphor for a France in critical condition. Francois Bayrou declares that the France's vital prognosis is engaged before the National Assembly. Before the National Assembly, it's a vocabulary, as we said, borrowed from the medical world, which describes a national emergency situation. But does Macron even know that his country is in an emergency situation national? Oi, does he know that? Let's go. The message is very clear. The France is on the brink of danger. France is undermined by debt. France, that is to say, the debt surrounded France. That took France to the neck. It even exceeds the cost of France. So France is undermined by the crisis, social and institutional exhaustion. The French are exhausted. A recent survey proved that many French, nearly 70% of French people, want today the resignation of Emmanuel Macron, because Emmanuel Macron has brought nothing to France. He brought everything spoiled, despite the fact that he had the France in Africa. Now, France was in Africa. France ate everything. Gently calm down. He came to them to stay talking. He opened his eyes of African youth. We have requested his departure. The companies French in Africa closed, and it don't stop there. Now they go back as a war chief. We must send volunteers in Ukraine. It is necessary to do this. We must do that. Macron does fail France. The famine that the French people live today, we made several video conferences on this. This is unprecedented. The students, French people, don't even have enough to wear under the tongue. They are forced to go queue up in front of some charities that accept. That is to say, it is pitiful humanitarian organizations that leave who have the list of the different restaurants that ask at the restaurant not to throw away. When people eat and they leave the rest of not throw away, they accumulate everything and then they organize it very well to give to students. Yes, to allow them at least have a balanced diet. So the situation is becoming very, very complicated for France. And it is why Francois Bayrou does not want to keep quiet about it. So when a manager talks about vital prognosis, it is not rhetoric. It is a cry of alarm on the very survival of the country. It's a matter of survival. It's a matter of survival, obviously, of France. This is what it's about. So It's a political stance and moral. Bayrou places himself as a wise man in the Republic, as we said at the beginning, the one who dares to tell the raw truth. But he remains to know is what will it be tolerated in this raw truth. So its statement aims to shake up the parliamentarians, but also to wake up opinion. But opinion will wake up against whom? Against the President Emmanuel Macron, who doesn't give a damn nothing. That's really the problem. That's the real problem. So this is a way for him to score the debate. France has no more time to lose. But does Macron understand? Because we see Macron's external obsession with internal emergencies. On the plan outside, Macron is obsessed. He closes his eyes. He ignores the difficulties and internal emergencies. First, we have the commitment, military and financial, vis-à-vis Ukraine. Emmanuel Macron, who devotes a massive part of the budget French in support of Kiev. He has devoted a large part of the budget French support for Ukraine. And the worst is that these are improvised expenses which were not planned in the budget. Only takes, he sends. We witness arms deliveries, the financing, mobilization, diplomatic. Priority is given to war. Priority is not given to the French. And that is why his prime minister betrays his spirit of warlord. And that's not the first time. We have a manager of the army which had left all recently who also made a similar statement. So, while Bayrou alerts on the internal state of France, Macron looks east, he looks abroad, he looks at Ukraine. So it's a headlong rush. Paris is exhausting itself for Ukraine while the body national is already sick. The worst thing is that Macron is engaging in disorderly spending, as we said. And it is this disorderly spending which worsens the crisis in France. We have presidential budgetary choices which are denounced as improvised and disconnected. The parliamentarians. Many parliamentarians and many politicians have denounced choices, improvised and disconnected budgets. Money, public money, is being squandered in military spending instead to be oriented towards health, school, and the real economy. The result is what? France is doubly weakened inside and outside. And this is why François Bayrou is warning. And so, young ladies and gentlemen, that was the front page of international news. Thank you for the share as much as possible. I'll get back to you soon with news information. So it was the voice of your only samurai.